Number 10 is kind of like number 7. It's another statistics question that looks more like a reading question than a math question. And kind of like number 7, we're going to deal with a definition that it's important we understand. And it's pretty clear at this time what the definition is. We're really talking about what is margin of error. And honestly, the right answer here is really just a definition of what margin of error is. But one thing that can help us on statistics questions a lot of times when there's these surveys is we want to be careful of strong words and strong choices. A lot of times what they're testing is, do you understand what a survey does? Right? A survey is a measurement of something, right? You go out and you ask people their opinion or something about themselves, and you get some sort of conclusion based on the people you've asked. But it's never a definitive conclusion. There's always some wiggle room. And margin of error is kind of a way of expressing that wiggle room. We might be wrong. We might have asked the wrong people. So we kind of are always trying to weaken our answer because we want to, not be overconfident in the results of the survey. So let's go through the choices and I'll kind of show you what I mean here. So for choice A, it says it is unlikely that less than 23% of the students see a movie at least once per month. Well, again, this is a survey and we asked people and found that 23% see a movie once per month, but maybe we asked the wrong people. Maybe it's 22%, right? So why would it be unlikely that we're not overestimating here? So we've got to be careful. We asked and we got 23%, but we could have been a little off, right? It could be more like 22% is the real number, or 21%. So this is a definitive choice. It's a very strong choice because it's saying that something is unlikely when we really just don't know. So that word unlikely is a little too strong for us here. It makes me nervous, and that's probably why this choice is wrong. For choice B, at least 23%, but no more than 25% of the students see a movie at least once per month. That's also very definitive, right? 23 or 25, no exceptions, no 26, no 22. It's too strong. It's narrowing our range way too much. So we've got to be careful. We want to kind of be weak here. Choice C, the researcher is between 19% and 20% sure that most students see a movie at least once per month. Well, this choice has a lot of strong words. Most students see a movie at least once per month, right? Sure. But it does have the weakness of saying 19 and 20% sure, which isn't very sure at all. This is just not really understanding how margin of error works. We can't really make a percentage guess about how sure we are. That's not exactly what margin of error does. It's all about likelihood. So choice D is going to really get us to where we want to be. It is plausible that the percentage of students who see a movie at least once per month is between 19% and 27%. So where do those numbers come from? Well, if we are saying that 23% of students see a movie at least once per month, and we have a margin of error of 4%. What that means is we can have plus 4% and minus 4%, meaning in both directions we could be wrong. That was the problem with kind of like choices A and B. We could be wrong in both directions. It could be that there are actually 27% of people who see movies more than once a month. And it also could be likely that only 19%. So what really margin of error does is it kind of gives us a range of possibilities. But it's also not a certainty. So the survey is telling us it's very likely that between 19 and 27% of people see a movie at least once per month. But this choice is really clever. It uses that word plausible, which is weak. It's a weak word. It tells us we might be wrong, even with this. It could be 18%. It could be 28%. It's probably not, but we're still open to that possibility, and that's what we have to always keep in mind with surveys, is it's a small group of people we're asking. And so there's lots of reasons why we could have asked the wrong people or asked the wrong question or just done something to make a mistake. And so a lot of the conclusions we're supposed to draw from surveys are really just very weak conclusions. It's likely that this is possible. It's plausible. It might be the case. We want to use those weak words as much as we can in the answer choices. And so that's why a strategy that we usually use in the reading section, being careful of strong words, works here, where we need to be nervous about certainty. We don't get a lot of that from surveys. So we want choices that are weaker, that kind of allow us to have some wiggle room with our answer and our conclusion. Margin of error is just another way of expressing that idea of wiggle room, and that's what they're asked about here. So just get used to this. That's what a survey is. They like to ask about this and how certainty works with surveys.